I felt kind of selfish because I'd totally forgotten about Grover's life ambition. The nature god had gone missing 2,000 years ago. He was rumored to have died, but the satires didn't believe it. They were determined to find him. They'd been searching in vain for centuries, and Grover was convinced that he'd be the one to succeed. This year, with Chiron putting all the satires on emergency duty to find the half-bloods, Grover hadn't been able to continue his search. It must have been driving him nuts. "I've let the trail go cold," he said. "I feel restless, like I'm missing something really important. He's out there somewhere. I can just feel it." I didn't know what to say. I wanted to encourage him, but I didn't know how. My optimism had been pretty much trampled into the snow out there in the woods, along with our capture the flag hopes. Before I could respond, Dahlia tromped up the stairs. She was officially not talking to me now, but she looked at Grover and said, "Tell Percy to get his butt downstairs." "Why?" I asked. "Did he say something?" Dahlia asked Grover. He asked why. "Dionysus is calling for a council of cabin leaders to discuss the prophecy," she said. "Unfortunately, that includes Percy." The council was held around a ping-pong table in the rec room. Dionysus waved his hand and supplied snacks, Cheese Whiz, crackers, and several bottles of red wine. Then Chiron reminded him that wine was against his restrictions, and most of us were underage. Mr. D sighed. With a snap of his fingers, the wine turned into Diet Coke. Nobody drank that either. Mr. D and Chiron, in wheelchair form, sat at one end of the table. Zoe and Bianca D'Angelo, who had kind of become Zoe's personal assistant, took the other end. Thalia and Grover and I sat along the right, and the other head counselors, Beckendorf, Selina Beauregard, and the Stoll brothers, sat on the left. The Aries kids were supposed to send a representative too, but all of them have gotten broken limbs, accidentally, during Capture the Frag, courtesy of the hunters. They were resting in the infirmary. Zoe started the meeting off on a positive note. "This is pointless." "Cheese Whiz!" Grover gasped. He began scooping up crackers and ping-pong balls and spraying them with toppings. "This is no time to talk," Zoe continued. "Our goddess needs us. The hunters must leave immediately." "And go where?" Chiron asked. "West," Bianca said. I was amazed how different she looked after just a few days with the hunters. Her dark hair was braided like Zoe's now, so you could actually see her face. She had a splash of freckles across her nose, and her dark eyes vaguely reminded me of someone famous, but I couldn't think who. She looked like she'd been working out, and her skin glowed faintly like all the other hunters, as if she'd been taking showers in liquid moonlight. "You heard the prophecy. 5 shall go west to the goddess in chains. We can get 5 hunters and go." "Yes," Zoe agreed. "Artemis is being held hostage, and we must find her and set her free." "You're missing something, as usual," Thalia said. "Campers and hunters combined prevail. We're supposed to help this." "No," Zoe said. "Hunters do not need thy help." "Your," Thalia grumbled. "Nobody said thy in like 300 years, Zoe. Get with the times." Zoe hesitated like she was trying to form the word correctly. We do not need your help." Thalia rolled her eyes. "Forget it." "I fear the prophecy says you do need our help," Chiron said. "Campers and hunters must cooperate." "Or do they?" Mr. D mused, swirling his Diet Coke under his nose like it had a fine bouquet. "One shall be lost, one shall perish. Sounds rather nasty, doesn't it? What if you fail because you try to cooperate?" "Mr. D," Chiron sighed, "with all due respect, whose side are you on?" Dionysus raised his eyebrows. "Sorry, my dear centaur, just trying to be helpful." "We're supposed to work together," Thalia said stubbornly. "I don't like it either, Zoe, but you know the prophecies. You want to fight against one?" Zoe grimaced, but I could tell that Thalia had scored a point. "We must not delay," Chiron warned. "Today is Sunday. This very Friday, December 21st, is the winter solstice." "Oh, joy," Dionysus muttered. "Another dull annual meeting." "Artemis must be present at the solstice," Zoe said. "She's been one of the most vocal on the council arguing action against Cronus' minions. If she's absent, the gods will decide nothing. We will lose another year of war preparations." "Are you suggesting that the gods have trouble acting together, young lady?" Dionysus asked. "Yes, Lord Dionysus." Mr. D nodded. "Just checking. You're right, of course. Carry on." "I must agree with Zoe," said Chiron. Artemis's presence at the Winter Council is critical. We have only a week to find her, and possibly, even more important, to locate the monster she was hunting. Now we must decide who goes on this quest. 3 and 2, I said. Everybody looked at me. Dahlia even forgot to ignore me. We're supposed to have 5, I said, feeling self-conscious. 3 hunters, 2 from Camp Half-Blood. That's more than fair. Dahlia and Zoe exchanged looks. Well, Dahlia said, it does make sense. Zoe grunted. I would prefer to take all hunters, but we need strength of numbers. You will be retracing the goddess's path, Chiron reminded her, moving quickly. No doubt Artemis tracked the scent of this rare monster, whatever it was, as she moved west. You will have to do the same. The prophecy was clear. The bane of Olympus shows the trail. What would your mistress say? Too many hunters spoil the scents? A small group is best.